So right now I reviewed the lessons or the yesterday lessons. Grow. The company has been grown on the cost of irregularity activities. Grew in here, this means to bring forward, to have the serious discussion. Something like the negative meaning, like critics. Hike. The minister should be in charge of addressing the tax hike. Outstage. The latest energy cost hike has outstated the entire community. Outstage in here doesn't mean make everyone angry or shocked or something. The plight of the poor, the typical situation. Dire. The homeless. Die in here doesn't mean difficult, like, or we have a collocation like dire situations. The homeless are always close with the dire situation. Absolute poverty. Alright. So right now I'm gonna choose another new to read. Choose this one. Alright, choose this one. Hong Kong economy shrinks 4% under antivirus controls. Shrinks in here, I guess it's a degree something or shrink. Become smaller. My sweat shrank in the wash. The tumor has shrunk to the size of a pea. Tumor. The market for the product is shrinking. Like reduce something. The internet is in the sense has shrunk the world. Shrink. Oh, I see this example is good, right, when I talk about the topic internet. So the internet, right? Today push 4th part. Shrink the internet, or in a sense has shrunk the world. The internet could be considered to shrink the world, or the internet in a sense has shrunk the world. Sang sống world. shrink, shrunk, or shrunk, make it bigger, make it like 26, shrunk the word. Alright. Hong Kong economic shrinks 4% under antivirus controls. Hong Kong's economy shrank by 4% compared with a year earlier in the quarter ending in March, after the Chinese territory shut the restaurants and other businesses to fight the spike in the coronavirus infection. The spike in coronavirus infection. Fight the spike. Wait, the most serious problem. Alright, so this sentence is good. The whole community, the whole population attempts to fight the hike, to fight the spike of coronavirus infection. Alright. Hong Kong's economy shrank by 4% compared with a year earlier in the quarter ending in March, after the Chinese territory shut restaurants and other businesses to fight the spike in the coronavirus infections. Growth plunged from the previous quarter 4% expansion. Government data showed Tuesday export of goods fell 4.5% from the year earlier, while the consumer spending sank 5.4%. Oh, I like this news a lot because I can learn some of the word and talk about the data, write about the data as well, or launch. Or I think that it somewhat become weaker. Blunt, move or make. 𝙤𝙗𝙗𝙗, forwards or 𝙤𝙗𝙗𝙗. She lost a balance of plunged 100 feet to her death. The train left the track and plunged down the embankment. The earthquake plunged the entire house over the edge. Leaked. The Greek suddenly quickly. Stock market plunged the news of the coup. This year profit plunged by 40%. Alright. The track plunged down into the valley, sloped down steeply. The horse plunged and reared. Suddenly plunged and reared. His heart plunged because of a strong emotion. Alright, so right now focus on here is the Greeks in something, right? Plunged. The Greeks suddenly quickly plunged round rivers quarters for business expansion. or 𝙭, the export of goods, 𝙭, or by 4%, the export of goods by 4% are from the previous quarter, or from the first quarter, 𝙭 in here just mean the Greek in a large amount. Alright. Grow in the previous quarter, 4% expansion. Government data showed Tuesday. Exports of goods fell 4.5% from the year earlier, while consumer spending sank 7.4%. Or single sank, just one word. So talk about decreasing something, so I can use plunge, fell, or sing sank. And talk about it in Greek, or I can also use height. Hong Kong closed amusement parks and imposed curbs on restaurants and other businesses in response to an outbreak that infected 1.2 million of us, 7.4 million people. Impose cups. Impose cups is here, close everything. Cup. Control or limit something bad. Jack. Want to cup is temper. A new law decided to cut harmful emission from the factories. New law decided to cut the harmful emission. Control something to cut harmful emission from factories. Well, I like this one. Or we have a noun in here, but check it later. Hot temper persons. Thus, I forgot the word. Cut. I need to learn to cut my temper. Want to cut my temper. Or the new law, right? Talk about the new law to cut the harmful emission from factories. I'm gonna think about the sentence that I might use in my writing. So, the government law strict law. Stricter law should be issued. Should be offered. To strict law should be offered to curb the emission of the factories, right? Emissions from private transportation. Private means of transportation. A strict law should be offered or should be issued, right? I think we're gonna use issued. To curb the emissions from private means of transportation in the city. Cities. Alright, how about now? Copying here just made I think until something. Put a limit. Curb on government spending. Many companies have imposed curbs on smoking in the workplace. Imposed or curbs on smoking in the workplace. Impose curbs or we are favor of strict curbs on the government spending. Strict curbs. We are favor of strict curbs on the government spending. We expect a desirable road, pieces of stone, mounted cup, sidewalk, walk and hit a tree, or cup in here doesn't mean like the sidewalk, or impose cups on the government, impose cups in response to the outbreak, or impose cup. Hong Kong. Oops, something wrong. Hong Kong government has imposed cup cups on the restaurants. And other businesses. In response to the coronavirus outbreak. Impose cuts the restaurant and other businesses respond to the coronavirus outbreak. Hong Kong closed amusement parks and imposed Am I correctly?
Curb.
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 Curb. Alright, curb. Hong Kong closed amusement parks and imposed curbs on the restaurants and other businesses in response to the outbreak that infected 1.2 million of its 7.4 million people. Infected. Like the coronavirus outbreak affected 1.2 million people. And the government eased a restriction in late April. Like publicly is announced. Alleviate. This should have eased the pain. The van should ease traffic congestion in the town. Would ease my mind. That she was said. Ease my mind. I need to solve the problem immediately to ease my mind. Is something is access for people who use wheelchairs. He is slowly forwards. She eases herself into the chair. Move slowly. He eats up. He eat shoes. He eat the shoes. Top out the shoes. Eat the shoes. Is your grief on the well a little? Is your grief to make something like time or light? Reduce. Share prices is back from yesterday level. Lowering price of health. Share prices is back from yesterday levels. Alright, easy restriction, right? The government easy restriction in late April after the outbreak appeared to fade. And ended a 2-year ban on non-resident visitors flying to the territory. Like at 2 months. For example, this is my example. At 2 months, the government has started. What I choose? Started. Another example. Started to ease the restriction. coronavirus, or when the coronavirus outbreak faded and ended. Faded and ended. Faded, not end, faded. Started to ease the restriction when the coronavirus outbreak faded. The government eased restriction in late April after the outbreak appeared to fade and ended a 2-year ban on non-resident visitors flying into the territory. But Hong Kong faces Brexit due to the weak global trade and a lack of visitors from China's mainland. But Hong Kong faces Brexit due to weak global trade and a lack of visitors from China's mainland. Although their excited activities is rebounding, we expect the recovery to through week. 𝙨𝙞𝙤𝙗 of the Capital Economic said in the report. Although their excited activities is rebounding, like bounce back and hitting something to worry about it. Goalpost, Podolsky hit it. An unpleasant effect on you. Breaks again after they have fallen. Share prices rebounded after Friday's losses. But in here, rebounding. Alright, there are sites that the economy is rebounding. After or the outbreak, the coronavirus outbreak is rebounding. Although there are signs that the activities is rebounding, we expect the recovery to be weak. 𝙨𝙞𝙤𝙗 of the Capital Economic said in the report. Oh, today I choose a short news, but a lot of news that can learn from this news. Why shrinks or decrease in something? Hong Kong economic shrink 4% under the antivirus control. Antivirus control. Well, under antivirus control. Or the antivirus control. Well, the antivirus control. Or shrinks. For example. Or the internet internet is very helpful, it's very convenient, it because it appeared to sing the whole world. Appear to sing the whole world. Our next one, grow fluent from the previous quad purposes expansion. Or fluent in here just means degree in something, right? Fluent. Fight despite or like the number, like the benefits, or like the profits, fluent, or purposes compared to fluent purposes compared to the previous quad. Fluent. Sang or fell or cut, impose cuts, like Hong Kong government imposed cuts on the restaurant and other businesses to respond to the outbreak. The government's ease restriction or after is the restriction at the antivirus control. Alright. Ease restriction. The economy is rebounding. The economy is rebounding after the antivirus control. China rebounding. So the next in here, that means talk about the Hong Kong, the way that the government fight despite the coronavirus infection. And thanks goodness Hong Kong can recover has started to recover after the outbreak. Right? The whole population attempt to fight despite coronavirus infection. The internet could be considered to shrink the world. The internet, in the sense, is shrunk the world. In the sense, the export gets flunked by purposes from the first quarter. The export gets flunked by purposes from the first quarter. I'm a hard type of person, just thus I need to curb my temper. A strict law should be issued to curb the emissions from private means of transportation in the cities. Curb the emission. Control the emission. Hong Kong government has imposed cuts on a restaurant and other businesses in response to a coronavirus outbreak. After 2 months, the government has started to ease the restriction when the coronavirus outbreak faded. There are signs that the economy is rebounding after the coronavirus outbreak. The antivirus control. Great.